Hey, welcome back to another episode of Talking Intentionally. Today we have an awesome episode with Ash and Jessie. Jessie is the new hire for Axal. Jessie, would love to hear what brought you to Axal, a little bit more about you. Yeah.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Jessie and I'm from Singapore. So I'm actually an intern here. I'm a software engineering intern, and this is on a school program. So it's called NUS Overseas College, where we work with like startups from different countries outside of Singapore. And it's always been my dream to work at a startup in the US. So that's why I decided to come here. Yeah.
That's so cool. It's cool that there's an internship program to begin with. Like, I don't know what you had. I had summer internships, and that was about it.
We had a sponsored, we had something similar where it would just be our entrepreneurship center sponsored. Like they give us $5,000 if we got an internship at a startup because startups couldn't afford it. So I think it's cool. I think a lot of schools are embracing this. Why did you pick Axel? Like, how did you hear about us? What was your journey here?
I think originally my plan was just to come to like a fintech company because New York is all about fintech, right? I think it was like at this point I was talking to like Axal and in a quant company. They were working on like quant strategy implemented for like just regular investors. I met up with both like the founders. So for Axal, I met them in Singapore when they were at a conference, and I met with the founder in Singapore for that quant company, and I really just liked the energy like for the Axal team because they were so passionate, and like just hearing Ash talk a lot about like the vision and like how far it has come over like just 1 year makes me so excited to come here and like to just work with the team. Yeah.
You're way too kind. It's also, I think it's mostly like this guy, it's like Akom, it's like Dev. Yeah. The entire team's just incredible. Like, yeah. I love your thoughts on this, and I also love your thoughts for like previous jobs or internships or even school. Like, I feel like above all else, you can just tell if people have it. Like the excitement, the energy, like they give a shit about what they're doing, they care about their work. And I like, of course, I'm the most biased for what we're doing here.
Yeah.
But like, over time, I feel like it's always felt good. Like even when it was just you and me sitting in Hadrian and then Dev always sat in the common area outside, like it's always felt good. We've of course had highs and lows, many things to overcome, but like how do you guys think about like, is that the most important thing? How does that change over time? What's healthy, what's not healthy almost? I don't know. Yeah. Jacob, you want to go first? I don't know.
So like, I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty open-ended question. What's healthy, what's not healthy? I don't know. I think college is very different than like adulthood. I think when you're in college, like you have all these different, like nothing feels too real, you know? And I think when you leave college, everything feels perhaps a lot more real, and it's still, I think the delta is higher than people actually, like it actually is. Like, whereas like in college, everything is like, okay, whatever, I have an institutional safety net. Whereas like post-grad, you're like, okay, I'm on my own. Thus, like, everything, all my eggs are in this basket. Like, it's make or break, which is a good thing, especially in startups. But it's also like in reality, everything is like not as big of a deal as you may feel like it is internally, and I think that's probably like I think just really have been trading a lot this past few weeks, and like the biggest thing in this is just like patience. Like you have to literally just be able to be like, okay, I made this bet, it is not doing well at all. Like you go down $10,000 on like a $20,000 bet, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, my underlying priors were like, I think this will happen. And if that happens, I'm still like going alongside my bet. And if it fails, it fails. But actually, more often than not, the markets are just like dynamic and they change a lot. And then in the long run, your bet probably is right because you're spending more time thinking about it.
Right. Yeah.
But I don't know. That's my thought.
I actually second you on this. So like for me, I really like going to school. Like I really like studying and I really like learning. Like I'm just a nerd, and I think school is really my safety net. And so like before jumping on this opportunity, I like talked to like a lot of my seniors, asking them, is this worth it? Because it's 1 year at like one startup, and if that startup has like a terrible culture and I don't like the work, it seems like very high opportunity cost, at least like as a student and as someone who hasn't even turned 21 years old. So that was my thought process. But I thought that exactly because it's a startup that I don't see myself as an intern, that I can have real ownership in work and like see myself as someone who can contribute equally as everyone else, although there's like so much more for me to learn out there. But I think exactly because it's a startup that I won't be seen as an intern, but really just as another employee that I think that it's so valuable for me to just come here for 1 year and just get uncomfortable and come off my safety net. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's so incredible. And it's cool that I feel like when I was like, of course we all did stuff and we're all like really great people compared to I'd say a lot of the folks that you see going about when it comes about caring about your work and what do you do. But it's cool to see you as just a student finding this exciting. It speaks to the team too. It's like you're around so many different people. Ari's like wife and 2 kids, much older than everybody else. very disciplined, and yet he vibes with like you, or he vibes
Yeah.
with like me or
Yeah.
Raymond, yeah.
Yeah, Raymond,
Yeah.
like whoever else.
He's
else
behind
is
the
here.
camera right now,
Yeah.
talking about interns, yeah.
Chad. I guess a quick question for you. It's only been like what, a week now. How has life at a startup differed expectations versus reality? Because like of
Right.
course you have all this stuff going in, and then now you're in it for just a
Right.
week. How's that been?
I would say that like work-wise has been pretty chill. I think the challenge for me is really like firstly like getting to know everyone at a more personal level. I think like I haven't gotten enough chance to like meet everyone formally, talk to them. Second thing is being proactive, so helping people to understand what I'm working on and like what are the roadblocks that I currently have. Because a lot of times like I may not understand certain things, but I don't know what are the right questions to ask to help people to help me out here. So I think that's I guess communication wise, that's something that I've been adjusting to for like the past week. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very well said.
Yeah.
Cool. What else? New York life outside of Axal, like what is that's gotta be a big.
Where are you
switch
living?
up,
Where are you
right?
living?
I'm actually living at Upper East Side.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So my commute to work is pretty good. It's like putting
You take the
fast
N/R?
yeah. Q.
Q.
Just
Okay.
Q.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Q. Jeez, I think I've taken the Q like once or twice. It's crazy.
I take the subway for the first time in like forever.
Yeah.
today.
I heard that
You
you
I bike
hate the
everywhere.
up subway.
Yeah, I bike
Yeah.
everywhere because
Do
the
you still
snow.
bike in this weather? 'Cause
I
it's
usually
crazy.
do, but I've been away for a week, so I'm
Okay,
afraid
okay.
to like push my luck.
Okay.
You know, like
Okay,
I think
okay.
this is like how accidents actually happen. I guess like what are you most excited for? Obviously, Axal is a growing company. I feel
Right.
like we're constantly pivoting. Like what like the true North Star is, because you get
Right.
new data, you have to pivot. That's life.
Right.
Like what do you think your personal North Star is, and what are you
Right.
excited for here?
Actually, like having just been here for like a few days, hearing people talk, I'm surprised, like pleasantly surprised that a lot of the engineers here are very involved in like even the business and growth side of things. My favorite part was actually like last week's Friday closeout call, because like Ash got us all to like brainstorm about like what is the next viral thing we can do, and like all the engineers were like really involved in this aspect and not just like the tech side. And this was something that I haven't seen before in like any other companies in Singapore. So I think a part of me like is really interested and excited about what can I do to think more about and also contribute to like the general growth of the company in terms of not just the tech side but really the business side of things.
Absolutely. Well, we can end on a super light note. Like, what's the most fun and cool thing that you've seen in the week or two that you've been in New York? And then what do you hate compared to home? Or
Snowstorm.
Wow.
I'm wondering, is that a pro or
Oh,
con?
that's absolutely.
Actually, snowstorm was such an experience. Like I actually went out on a day
Yeah.
of snowstorm. It didn't feel like anything until you get wet. Like because it's so different from rain.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't feel like it's raining on you.
This is your first snow?
My first snow was last Saturday, but it wasn't a snowstorm.
Yeah, but like your first time experiencing
Yeah.
snow.
What?
Yeah, it is.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Dude,
That's
Yeah.
actually crazy.
Axal
It is,
first.
it is.
Yeah.
That's-
Wow.
Um,
Welcome to New York.
Well, I think that New York's very exciting because like this was before I started working. I'm just walking around like the parks or like Bryant Park or like any other parks, and I will be seeing people running at like randomly 11 a.m. I'm just wondering, like, do people not work in New York? Because I don't really see that in Singapore. So I'm just, that just like blows my mind.
It's less structured. I
Yeah.
think people here are just on a different wavelength.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
you'll
I
also
guess.
see people working at 3 a.m.
Right.
You know? So I think it's like someone will run at 11, but they'll work at 3 a.m.
Right,
And it's just like, I don't think people have, I don't think you come to New York City to have a structured life.
Right.
I think you come here to like win, whatever that means to you.
Yeah, very well said.
And maybe, and I don't know if that's true about Singapore, maybe Singapore is a little bit more on the structured side.
Yeah, it's definitely
Like, this is my
yeah.
week, this is my nighttime, this is my like work time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's
yeah.
probably a big delta or difference.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Awesome. Sick. Well, thanks, guys. This has been good. It's good to chat.
Welcome back, yeah.
Yeah, welcome back, and welcome Jessie to Axal.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sweet. Bye-bye.